Alright guys, so I've been super busy lately with some projects that we started earlier in the summer, and I'm finally getting around to wrapping things up. I've still got a lot of work to do this winter. We got to get the hoop house cleaned out as I showed you, and we've got to get the gardens buttoned up. But along with the roadies, one of the things we've always wanted here is a nice vegetable garden and a nice berry patch. I showed you in a previous video, we got our berry patch in, we got all the berries in, everything's been rooting over the summer. We've had some deer issues. I'm working on that. We're getting fencing up. I'm not quite finished with that, but I had something really awesome come up recently, and I spent the last week doing nothing but taking care of this awesomeness, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Let's go. It's good enough for that little guy. It's good enough for me. I had some access to some cow manure mixed with shavings, and that's exactly what we're looking at right now. And so I was able to pick up a little bit. Okay, I was able to pick up a lot of bit. This represents the last week of my life. This and a little bit more. It's about 15 yards, actually it's more than 15 yards. This is 15 loads right here of my 5-yard dump truck. However, I was piling that 5-yard dump truck about 8 yards high and just letting it spill over the edges as I drove it home. There's a local dairy nearby, and every year they have an area where they lay shavings down throughout the year, and then the cows walk on it and poop on it and pee on it, and then they put more shavings down, and it's just layer after layer for an entire year, and it gets like 2 foot deep, and then they end up pushing it all out at the end of the year into a huge pile, and it's been completely packed down. It's homogeneous, mixed together, and it is just awesome stuff. Last year I kind of missed out because I was too late in picking it up and somebody else picked it up, but I went out there with a shovel before they had picked it up and dug one scoop into it, and there were just millions of worms. I mean, millions of them. I mean, they love this stuff. It's just, you know, it's half wood shavings, half cow poop. It's been sitting for a year now. It had only been, you know, so deep, so it hadn't been composting, but once this sits in this pile for a while, you'll see them worms come up through it. But this is just a gigantic mound. This stuff will last me for quite a while. I've already been using it. Now, aside from all of this, I dumped some more piles around where I'm going to plant more roadies, and then we did the garden. I couldn't help myself. So I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dump truck loads throughout our entire berry patch. We made some changes here. I'm just about done spreading all this stuff, but if we walk out here, I think this is going to make the perfect bedding for all of these berries. There's our row of blueberries, another row of blueberries through there. We shortened our row of raspberries because we ended up deciding and then I took out the strawberries, like I said in the previous video, way down on the end, because we're going to just make that one big long garden area for vegetables, and then the strawberries are going to go all along this fence here, and then all along this fence over here, fence line. I haven't put the fence up yet, but that's our deer solution, and then we'll have to run some taller fence along the back there. But if you come out here and look, let's see here, we'll just start digging. I have got this stuff literally 6 to 8 inches throughout this entire bed. Heck, I can't even get bottom in that area. It is literally 6 to 8 inches deep throughout this entire area of wood chips and manure. And then when we get all that done, we're going to come back over it with all those wood chips. I think I showed another video of the pile of wood chips that the local arborist has been bringing me for the last year. This is 2 of my dump truck loads that I brought out here so that I can start spreading it on the garden. But there's probably, I don't know, 10 more dump truck loads like this out there that I need to scoop up and bring out here. Anyway, this stuff's going to go on that garden area, probably, I don't know, 6 inches deep. I'm just going to pack it in there, and then it'll sit all winter, and we'll be able to have some awesome fruits and vegetables, or berries, next year. So here's the strawberry boxes I've shown before. We pulled them up. This now is going to become the vegetable garden. Oh, let me zoom out there if I can. This is going to become the vegetable garden. So we got our berries in rows all down there. We pulled up some of the raspberries so they would end with the blueberries, and then we're going to have, it's probably about a 30 or maybe even a little more, 30 by 16 or 18 or 20, something like that, just for vegetables. And then came over here, we got the chickens right there in the barn with the chickens in them. Came over here, in this whole area right here I dumped 2 loads. I used a little bit of it in the garden, but the rest of it I've been spreading out. That's about 24 by 24 foot area. That's going to be all for pumpkin, squash, you know, all kinds of big plants that need a lot of space. And they'll be over here by themselves. I did end up ripping the fence out along this edge so I could get the dump truck through here. I'm going to have to put some new fence up, a little bit taller, but that's what we're up to right now. So pretty excited about that. I'll give you an update once I get the wood chips done here. Alright, I had to head back to work for a few days and put a hold on all this, but I'm headed back out. I work 12-hour shifts and I'm gone from home for 14 hours with the commute, so nothing happens on those days. But here's where we left off. Like I was showing you, 6 to 8 inches of this manure, and it's manure slash shavings, all just perfectly mixed together. And then we're doing 6 to 8 inches of wood chips here. And you can see I got it done all the way up through the berries. I don't even know if you can see the berries anymore. The leaves are starting to fall off the blueberries quite a bit as fall's coming on. So we got that far. Got done with all the berries. I dumped one last truckload of wood chips here before I had to quit a few days ago, and I'm going to spread all that out. I think it's going to take a couple more loads here over all the rest of this area, and I think it's about a 35-40 foot section this way by about 20 foot this way. So a couple more truckloads in the dump truck, and we'll be done maybe today. Maybe I'll finish it tomorrow. And then I've got this one area over here. It's about 24 by 24 that I want to continue out, and this is going to be our area where we plant all our big squash. I think I said that earlier in another clip, but our pumpkins and zucchinis and maybe some potatoes and things like that. So alright, I'm going to get after it. Alright guys, so I'm starting to get all these clips backed up, so I thought I better get this thing put together and posted for you so you can see what's going on. I finished getting all the wood chips done and spread out over that garden area, and then all the wood chips spread out over here. I got a little bit more left to do to touch up the edges here, and then I need some help. So I'm not sure what I want to do here to finish this off. Right here at the corner of this bed, I was thinking about putting another post in and then just running the fence line along that bed and then up to the post there and then all the way across the front, and just leaving this grassy area up here wide open. I'm considering filling this whole grass area in and just running a fence all the way to the end here, about 24 feet out from that last post you see, and expanding the bed, and then even running the fence another 12 feet, so it would be right over here all the way down along the fence line, and putting fruit trees in there. So it's a lot more work to expand all that, but I've got the manure and I've got the wood chips. So if you got any thoughts on that, you know, comment below. Let me know what you think we ought to do here, or just go ahead and finish it off for now and use what I've got. Anyway, Hope that's giving you some inspiration to get some gardens ready for next spring, and I'll see you in the next video.